Hello. Um, Yesterday was another big day, and like in terms of milestones, I had the guy from the window company coming out, and there's a hole in the floor overhead. We'll look at that in a sec. Um, Window man came out and repaired some of my windows. So these windows were originally in the double glazed windows that were throughout this place were installed in 2006 by a company called Wallside Windows, and they have a lifetime warranty on their windows. Well, or maybe it's 35 years, something very generous and good. So some of the windows that were still here were covered by the warranty. Some weren't. I had to pay for the ones that weren't. And yesterday the guy came out to do the repairs, like they did the measuring ages ago. It's just taken a while for me to make up my mind and push go on that. But they were pretty quick once I did. And the guy came out yesterday and fixed up some windows. So today we are in the downstairs unit, which is usually really dark. I'm kind of in the darkest part of it now. I'm just going to put these tools down. Got this awesome new crowbar. Part of a bit of a cheeky Home Depot exploit that I ran yesterday. Was it the day before? Yeah. Anyway, made out like a bandit. I'll tell you about that soon. But anyway, back to the windows. We're in the ground floor unit, and the darkest bit is now the kitchen because I've been able to take the boarding off the outside of a few of the windows that were repaired to stop people getting in essentially through broken windows. But now that they've been fixed, I feel a little at liberty to take the boarding off some of the windows. So this is the ground. This is that living area. I mean, it's obviously still like a bomb hit it, but at least now it's got beautiful natural light. If I undo this lamp, yeah, look at that. That's light coming through this window, lighting me up. We've got lovely views out into the neighbourhood, down the street, across the road, my half deconstructed porch. Good stuff. That column there that we're looking at, that's going to be deconstructed because it is bowing out in the middle and it's unstable. It doesn't look great, so I'm going to pick it apart and then rebuild it with my mate Shadrick. So yeah, two new windows. Well, that is two new sashes. This one here was one new sash. They missed the sash over. I think the guy who came out initially thought that this was just a glass repair, but it needs a whole new sash. It's got it's had nails driven through it and all of that stuff. This one, yummy. Nice and new. Look at the contrast. It's ridiculous. Yeah, so there was somebody was grilling or using this room as a kitchen or lit a fire in here. The floor is okay. That's the weird thing. So it doesn't seem like there's been a fire on the floor, but these walls, the ceiling, everything was black with smoke, and these frames as well, just been sooted right up. So I need to give them a bit of a clean sometime. Once I've got water, I can start going crazy with soap and water. It's going to be very satisfying. Again, this room, new window. This always had an open, this always had light. This one wasn't boarded up because that window was okay-ish. It just had one of its two, because they're double glazed. That one, the outside pane was broken, but now they're been replaced. It's still good. And this room, this is the weird green room, the super dark green. Not a terrible colour, but kind of a bit much for an entire room. That's just me. But there's two new sashes here. So I just did the very satisfying knocking out of the, see that piece of plywood down there? That used to be covering this window. So bit by bit, things are getting better and lighter. The amount of light that this place gets is so nice. Basically because I don't have any neighbours directly next door, so the light just floods in. I'm not overshadowed by anyone. Once these plywood bits come off, and the ones in the kitchen, in this downstairs unit, this place is just going to be like really bright. I'm going to have to get curtains and stuff. It's also not going to be too private, so I'll want to get some kind of like privacy curtains for these downstairs windows at least. So that's it for down here. Let's go and look at the windows upstairs, shall we? Watch your step. It's pretty dark. I've gotten used to it now. Could almost walk through this place with my eyes closed, but I would not want to risk that. Okay. Just put my cool new crowbar down. So the crowbar story. Back in December, my family gave me a voucher for Home Depot. With it, I used it to buy a laser measure. The laser measure, lovely like Bosch laser measure, was useful. I think it got a few hard knocks. It was floating around in my tool bag for a while, and I tested it. I was like, these measurements don't seem right. I tested it a few times, and it had gone way out of whack, like it was a few inches out of calibration. So I took it back to Home Depot. I said, I'd like to return this, it's faulty. I said I didn't have my receipt, and I paid with a gift card, so what can you guys do? The guy looked it up in the system, and he couldn't find that model. And he said, well, we don't actually sell that, so I'm not sure if I can help you. And I looked up on the Home Depot app, and I found GLM 50CX, and mine was a GLM 50C. And I showed it to him, and he was like, oh, CX, okay. Put it in, went away, came back with my voucher for the refund, and it was for $150. I only paid $90 for the original. So what he'd ended up doing was giving me a refund on the updated model. So with it, I bought another laser measure and that lovely yellow crowbar. Now I've got a nice beefy crowbar, which is very handy for knocking plywood off windows and the like. Okay, so here we go. This is one of my favourite things. Look at this window here. This one. That's actually, it's so clean that it doesn't even look like there's glass there. It's awesome. You can tell that there's glass there, but not in this one. So this pane is new. Over here, this glass is new. They fixed up this glass. This one's okay. So that window's good now. In here, these ones were always good. They're okay. But yeah. New glass in both of these. And new glass in both of these. This is the main entrance for the upstairs unit. So this is my front door, or it will be. So then you come in the front door, you go up the lovely majestic steps, all nice and clean one day. And we go up the steps, past this other window. It's all very light and lovely. And then we come into, there seems to be a bit of a hump here. Yeah. So, new windows. Cool, huh? That's about it. Touched on everything else. Oh, so at the beginning I pointed out that hole in the floor. That is that. So at some point there's been some water damage, and they've replaced it with a patch, and I just unpicked everything to try and see what was under there. It's just old rot, so I'm going to have to cut out this section of floor, do something with that. I think I touched on that in an earlier vid. Look out the window. My meadow next door. The empty lots on each side, very overgrown, but they've got a kind of prairie vibe, which I'm into. And then this one here is broken. Not sure what the story is there. Yeah, needs to be fixed. So they weren't perfect. They did miss a few things, and I'll probably end up having to pay for it. Hopefully I don't, but I don't want something for nothing either. So, as I've just boasted about my crowbar score, you know what I mean. They're hard-working people. Home Depot though, they can suck it. Anyway. Oh yeah, new glass in here. So this is the window in my back stair area. Back rear stair area. Here we go. Rear stair, new window. Cool, huh? This window here, I'm going to get a nice double glazed window put in there as well. I want to lift the sill of this window because from the inside it's too low, and I want to have a counter against it, like a kitchen counter. But yeah, I need to figure that out. Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do today. I've just come here to have a look at these windows again, kind of just to feel good about that. The seepage zone is all drying out. And look at this weather. Shout out Nick, my dear friend. I'm glad you're enjoying these vids. It's heartening to hear. Same with everybody else watching. I don't know, I kind of feel like I'm talking to you all, even though I'm just looking at myself on camera. Don't know, I think about you all often. And yeah, I'm pretty fortunate. Great mates and family. Love you guys. And I'll leave you with the Lee Plaza.